The movie industry has always been about risk. Ever since Paramount Pictures was founded back in 1912, yep, that's real, the game has been the same. Movies sometimes do super well, sometimes they flop, just have more hits than misses. Which is way easier said than done. Hollywood movies are in this constant tug of war between the people who have the money and the people who have the ideas. The money people want the budget to be super low so that they can easily make a profit, and the creatives want infinite money to follow their vision to the very end. They need to meet somewhere in the middle to make a pretty good movie with a moderate budget. Usually the studios are aiming for the highest profit with the lowest risk. Movies that could make a ton of money are discarded for ones that will probably make okay money. And while studios do all that they can to try and make absolutely sure that they will make a profit, you're eventually gonna have to try something new. That's what this whole thing is about. And in 2014, Warner Brothers was taking a swing at something new. At the time, people were pretty skeptical about how anyone could make an entire movie about Legos. They're just little plastic bricks from Sweden. Or is it Finland? Doesn't matter. The point is that there's not exactly a cohesive story there to guide you. There have been a few straight-to-DVD movies using Lego before, but a full-blown theatrical release all about them was pretty weird. On the other hand, the movie industry has proven that riding the coattails of something that's already popular is a good strategy for profit. Legos are the most popular toys in the world, so their big brand does a lot of the marketing for you. And a movie about Legos has so little direction that it would be basically a blank canvas. It can be pretty good, as long as the right people make it. So they got the big guns. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller would write and direct this movie. They wrote Clone High, so basically I trust them with my firstborn child. And with producers Roy Lee and Dan Lin at their side, they had the power to make something amazing, despite all the mocking. The Lego Movie came out on February 7th, 2014, with a great story about creativity and self-expression and corporate greed that tons of people, including me unsurprisingly, really loved. And the studio loved it too. On its opening weekend, it made its $60 million budget back and then some. By the next weekend, it made double its budget, and the weekend after that, triple. It ended up making $470 million, which doesn't seem like that much, but it's the ratio that really matters. It's like Warner Brothers just put $1 into a vending machine and got $8 out. For reference, Avengers Endgame made $7.87 per dollar put in, and Norbit made $2.65. And those are just box office numbers. Those don't even count all the toy sales and other merchandise that they sold as well. With this insane profit, Warner Brothers was looking to do it again. Only 3 weeks after the Lego Movie came out, Deadline reported that Warner Brothers just got access to the rights to make a movie about Minecraft, another huge brand that famously lets players do whatever they want. For Warner Brothers, this move makes obvious sense. People will go out to the theaters because Minecraft is already a property that they know and love. The game already has a ton of recognizable characters that can easily be made into merchandise. There's a big community of YouTubers that will make videos about, right. And as far as media properties go, it doesn't get much bigger than Minecraft. The movie literally markets itself, and all they have to do to make this a reality is to make the movie. How hard could that be? Funnily enough, Warner Brothers got the rights to make a Minecraft movie without any ideas of what it would be about. Didn't know that was an option, but okay. So how do they get the ideas? Like, how do you make a movie? For this video, we're going to focus on what I've coined to be the Holly Trinity. The director is the first leg of the Trinity. They're basically the main person in movies. They give directions on how to film the movie that they see in their mind. They have a movie in their mind because the writer has put it there. They've made a super long script that the director has read and thinks that they can turn into a movie. How do they get the money to do all this? That's the producer. They work at one of the gigantic century-old movie studios that invest a ton of money and talent into many films all at once. The producer works in the logistics of making the movie happen, like deciding how that money and talent is distributed on their film. And usually these three roles are held by different people that all check and balance each other, working together to make the movie happen. However, that was not how it was working at Warner Bros. And it's all because of this one guy, Greg Silverman. He presides over the producers at Warner Brothers, so he basically decides what gets made at the studio. Greg had found a lot of success at Warner Brothers by not doing what was typical. After all, he had just helped make the Lego Movie, which everyone else in Hollywood was making fun of until it came out. He always wanted the higher-ups to be just a little uncomfortable with what was being made, and he found that these uncomfortable ideas usually come from the rare people who are both directors and writers. When you do both jobs, you basically have all of the creative power in the Trinity, which means that their uncomfortable ideas are less impeded and are more likely to make it to the actual screen. And Greg Silverman had found that this kind of person worked really well at Warner Brothers. Like Christopher Nolan, who just made the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception. And obviously Lego Movie that we talked about earlier was written and directed by these two people. So when Monsieur Gregoire was looking to hire a writer-director to work on a new movie about Minecraft with zero ideas of what it would be, he had a plan. Applicants must pitch their own original concept for the story to Mojang. This would crowdsource ideas for the movie, show if Mojang approved of it, and showed if the director could be in the writer's room too, all at the same time. If they didn't like a director, they would just move on to the next one. If they did, then Warner would hire them to make a script about it. Pretty clever, Gregory. Why doesn't everyone just have a writer-director? Well, it comes back to being uncomfortable. Doing it this way means that 2/3 of the Trinity is now relegated to one person, so they have overwhelming power to do whatever they want to the movie. So hopefully you like their take. And if you piss them off and they leave, they basically take the whole movie with them, and the studio's left with nothing to show for all the money that they spent. Have you guys heard of this thing called foreshadowing? Anyway, at first, Sean Levy, who directed Night at the Museum, was in talks with Warner Brothers about the movie. The one and only thing that we know about the movie is that it, quote,
had a bit of a Goonies flair.
And that's it. Mojang didn't like it, so it got canceled pretty quickly. The one who broke through was Rob McElhenney. He created It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a show that I freaking love. You might know him from this meme or this meme. He's also apparently a big Minecraft player. He said that a Minecraft movie really intrigued him because it doesn't have a story. It's like a blank canvas. Wait, isn't that what I said? His story was about people taking agency over their own life, which he considered to be the true message of the game. He showed it to Mojang and Warner Brothers, and it must have been pretty good because they hired him. So now that we have a writer and director, we just need some producers. Remember, the producers deal with the logistics of movie creation, so it was important to have people who have made this type of movie before. So obviously, Roy Lee would be a producer, since he was conveniently not producing the Lego Movie anymore. And given that it was a live-action film, they also got Jill Messick, who produced for Mean Girls, also an incredible movie. They were both definitely good picks. So now that we've got producers, the Trinity is complete. Whew. Okay, we can finally make the damn movie, Jesus Christ. In late 2014, Vubuoy revealed that the movie had an extremely large budget, rumored to be $150 million. According to that inflation calculator that everyone takes as fact, that's about $200 million today. That's enough to make Oppenheimer twice over. He also hinted at the release date, saying that the movie would likely be out in the next 3 to 4 years. So like 2017, 2019 is what we're looking at. When making a movie, especially with the huge budget that they had, everything was going to take a long time, but they were slowly chugging through it. The public was just being drip-fed little tidbits through various leaks over those years. We found out that Steve Carell was going to be in the movie in late 2016. We don't know what role he would have played, other than apparently starring in the film. I do wonder who Steve would have played, but he never did it, instead voice acting in the third Despicable Me movie. People didn't really like this movie, but it was still the 24th highest grossing film of all time. Man, I wonder why they keep making these guys, I really don't know. We also got news that Jason Fuchs was rewriting the script after Rob was done with it. He wrote Ice Age Continental Drift, so I guess he's got more experience with children movies than someone like Rob. In June of 2016, Vubuoy showed that the script was mostly done and stained with coffee. He also finally announced the official release date for the Minecraft movie, May 24th, 2019, almost 3 years in advance. And, I mean, I see why he announced it. I mean, what could go wrong at this point? The actors were booked, the script was being wrapped up, the sound stages in Canada were ready to go, Rob was just about to temporarily move up there for pre-production. This movie is actually happening. Something would have to go, like, insanely wrong for that to change. On December 14th, 2016, Rob got a text telling him that president of production Greg Silverman had just left Warner Brothers. As we covered earlier, the president of production provides the professionals and payment for the project, but only if they're particularly passionate about the project's path. If they're suddenly replaced by a new guy whose name is, Toby Emmerich, and he has a bunch of his own ideas for the movie, well, that brings everything to a halt trying to make him happy. If you move for him, he'll move for you. But if your ideas clash, well, the extreme hills in your way might not move quite so easily. And I mean, it makes sense that they would clash. Toby didn't personally approve this movie. He never said that he didn't like it, but it's clear that he didn't love it either. And who in their right mind would spend $150 million on something that they don't even like? I don't know, but Toby Emmerich is not one of those people. And just like that, the Trinity's broken. The producers can't produce a movie because they don't have the funding, which means that the writers can't keep writing and the director can't keep directing because nobody shows up anywhere without payment. So after the money dried up, the movie just rotted away to nothing. Well, I mean, thank God, because if Toby kept working on that movie, he might not have been able to make Black Adam. No, seriously, that's what he did instead. So yeah, the Minecraft movie got fucking annihilated in favor of generic superhero movie starring The Rock. That's great. I wonder why they were so insistent on making this movie, guys. Who knows? I don't know. So Rob McElhenney, who had just spent the last 2.5 years of his life on this movie, had to watch it all rot away in front of him. Understandably, he was kind of mad about that.
Are you comfortable saying what your take was? Because I'm just curious, like what a
My
Rob
take was?
McElhenney
Sure.
version of Minecraft would have been.
I'm comfortable talking about it because fuck them at this point.
After that, the movie was kind of in limbo for a long time. 2017 came and went with no news about it at all. This seems to be the time that the movie was slowly disintegrating with the lack of support, and I assume that even the people at the studio didn't know if it was still happening or not. But by August 3rd, 2018, the world found out that the movie was 100% not happening anymore. When The Wrap asked Rob about the movie, he said, quote, "No, that is not happening." They then proceeded to write an entire article about those 5 words. 2019 rolled around, the year that the movie was slated to come out, and we finally got some news about what the hell was going on. Rob McElhenney is out, and Peter Solla is going to write and direct the film now. According to IMDb and every single article written about him, he's known for Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. I watched it for this video, and it was just kind of meh, but I do wonder what his take on a movie about Minecraft would be, so let's take a look. The story follows a teenage boy and his unlikely group of adventurers who, after the malevolent wither storm... Wait, so sorry, this is the plot for Patton Oswalt edition. Sorry, I don't know how that got in here. Okay. The story follows a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers who, after the malevolent Ender Dragon sets out on a path of destruction, must save their beautiful Blocky overworld. Guys, this is supposed to be a blank canvas, not just using someone else's painting. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Peter, but I'm really not feeling this one with the description that was put out there. But apparently, Mojang and Warner Brothers liked it, because they approved it for pre-production. In April of 2019, 1 month before the original release date, they announced a new release date, March 4th, 2022. And if you're thinking, isn't that 3 years in advance again? Well, you're absolutely correct, Jacob, it is. But guys, this time it's different. The movie is actually gonna happen this time, guys. It would take like a global catastrophe to change that. Oh right, you know what happened in 2020. The Panini. Now that it's in full swing, there's no way to get the Trinity to be together, because that's illegal. All that they can do now is sing John Lennon songs on TikTok. It's very sad for them. In October, Warner Brothers internally delayed basically every single movie that they were working on due to the Panini. A lot of them got a future release date, but not Minecraft. It was once again delayed indefinitely. And at some point during 2020, Peter Sollett left the production entirely. Because he's the writer-director, again, he took his entire script with him. Again. So you go right back to square one. Or I guess, cube one. Am I right, guys? March 4th, 2022 came and went with no news of the Minecraft movie at all. Mojang never directly acknowledged that the movie was being delayed or anything. I mean, at the time, we all just kind of expected everything to get delayed, even without notice. They just kind of stood there and counted on people forgetting about it. And they mostly did. I didn't remember it. Well, I wouldn't have if a bunch of people didn't make videos about it when it happened. I do want to mention that canceling a movie isn't cheap. You would think that you can just stop working, but there's this huge momentum with movie making that has to be forcibly stopped every time. You have to pay the people for the work that they did do, even though the studio made no profit from it. And with inflation, the buying power of that original budget gets smaller and smaller every year. And of course, that big budget figure isn't really the studio's money, it's borrowed from a bank and they just paid them back interest. This is all to say that as time has gone on, the movie's big budget has slowly been going down. Even though that big $150 million figure is thrown around all the time, it's a lot more complicated than that. The more that a movie gets delayed, the harder it is to make, which is why I think it's so crazy that this movie is still even being made at all. But I think that if you look back at where we started, it becomes crystal clear why they keep going. The movie industry has always been about risk, and making this movie is not risky at all. They'll spend a ton of time and money making and remaking and re-remaking a movie if they believe it's going to be financially viable, and they're clearly very confident in this, so they keep going. On April 18th, 2022, we finally got some information about what's going on. And guess what, gamers? We've got a new director! It's Jared Hess, who's been a writer-director on some classic comedy movies like Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. Apparently Hess got to do this movie because he was already working on a different project for Legendary, and Legendary is working on the Minecraft movie with Warner Brothers. He said that, quote, trying to adapt something that doesn't have a story, it's an open sandbox game. I like the challenge. Would you say it's like a blank canvas, perchance? But for the Minecraft movie, Hess wouldn't write. I guess Warner Brothers learned their lesson the last 2 times. Instead, they would hire Chris Bowman and Hubble Palmer to write yet another script for the movie. They've written a few animated TV shows together, including the one for Napoleon Dynamite, which is probably how they met Hess. I didn't know that had a TV show. They also had Alison Schroeder write the story. She was previously nominated for an Oscar for the writing she did on Hidden Figures. And, like, that's a good movie, but it's quite a far cry from anything related to Minecraft. Believe it or not, through this whole entire thing, Roy Lee was still producing this movie. That's just dedication, really. And with this iteration, we got 2 new members from Mojang. Famous Gangnam Style enjoyer Lydia Winters would join, as well as Vu Bui. And we saw earlier that Legendary was working with them, which means that they get a producer too, which would be Mary Parent. Studios hire them to make like really epic looking movies like Dune and Inception, Pacific Rim, Interstellar, Detective Pikachu, that kind of thing. There are also like 13 more producers, but I can't mention them all. I'm sure they're all important, but like, I can't mention all of them, okay? Famous YouTuber Jablinski Games was hired to play Steve in the movie. He has the very elaborate costume of a blue turtleneck with a blue v-neck sweater over top with jeans. If he doesn't say what's Jablins Jables in the film, I'm walking out. Jason Momoa was also hired, and he plays Rhett on Good Mythical Morning and Mermaid Man. Jeff Keighley claimed that Momoa would play Gabriel the Warrior from Patton Oswalt edition, which is just hilariously wrong knowing what we know now. This is per The Ankler, and specifically from this article, which is paywalled, but you can see from the Google search results that some fans have called for him to play Gabriel the Warrior, and he misconstrued that to meaning that he definitely was going to do it, which is bizarre, okay? From mid-2022 to mid-2023, we didn't get anything. And that's surprising because I assume that this was around the time that they finalized the script and did pre-production. This is usually when some Mojang employee would like to go and announce the release date, but nobody did. I mean, it was known at the time, we found out through a leak, but it wasn't through an official source. I guess they learned their lesson. So at this point in June 2023, the script is done, pre-production's going well, they plan to start filming in New Zealand on August 7th, 2023, and surely nothing could go wrong for a 3rd time, right? Are you fucking... Yep, the Screen Actors Guild went on strike alongside the Writers Guild of America, and Jack Black and Jason Momoa are both in this union. I mean, good for them, strikes are important, and I'm glad they didn't scab. I just can't fucking believe how unlucky this movie has gotten. Luckily, this time it wasn't a catastrophic death of the film, but it was yet another delay. The strike ended in November of 2023, and filming for the Minecraft movie would start in early 2024. It was wrapped up by April 11th, which is when Jason Momoa posted this photo on his Instagram. Jack Black posted this video on his Instagram of him at the Minecraft movie set. Apparently this was the honey wagon where he would play Minecraft fully in costume between takes. Must have been pretty hard to do that given the weight of all that equipment. Then on September 4th, 2024, we got the infamous teaser. The one with the sheep and the I am Steve, Vine Boom, raised eye emoji. And the response from the audience was a resounding, wait, what? Why isn't this movie animated? I guess I never really covered that. This movie, from the moment of its inception, was always going to be live action. Even Rob McElhenney was making a live action Minecraft movie a decade ago. After all, you don't need to book big sound stages in Canada if the movie's animated. But despite that, it really caught all of us off guard when we saw the trailer. I've always imagined a Minecraft movie would be animated in my head, like a Fallen Kingdom or Minecraft Story Mode type thing, but like way higher budget. I wrote a very angry blog posts about it when it came out, and I still see a ton of people wondering why it's live action. But over time, and while making this video, I've come to understanding the very simple reason why it's live action. Because it can be. There are a million YouTube videos that use Minecraft as a storytelling medium. Many of them are either made in game or animated, but not many are live action because it's insanely expensive. I want to stress that this movie has a budget of $150 million. While that money has gone down over time, it's still $150 million. Something that's made me believe in this movie more is seeing all the behind the scenes footage with the real props and trees and everything like that. It's super cool. I wish I could have one of these pumpkins.
Pumpkin.
They're trying to do something that hasn't been done before, and animations of Minecraft have been done many times before. In fact, Netflix is making one right now. Whether this is them pushing the boundaries or them just wanting to be holier than thou is your opinion. And obviously, just because they can doesn't mean that they should. But it's indisputable that they have the budget to do something different, and this is what they're doing with it. After all, I feel like that's the whole appeal of an official Minecraft movie, right? What can they do with a gigantic budget? Obviously, you can still not like how it looks, and that's fine. I personally think that it's so horrendously ugly that it kind of goes back to being funny. It's like those grotesque SpongeBob frames, but that's like the whole movie. I like to think that this is what the game really looks like if you were inside of it, but we can only see the pixelated version. I do personally believe that live action was the correct decision, and at the very least I think that it'll make the movie not forgettable. Whether we'll look back on it fondly in the future, or we'll be traumatized by it, I don't know, but I'm open to both, really. You can also not like the played out Jumanji type story, and I'd probably agree with you. This was almost certainly done to save money, as the movie gets way cheaper when you can spend less time in a fully CG Minecraft world. That's why it's a played out trope, it's literally a cheap trick. This is also probably why they added this Jennifer Coolidge nitwit B-plot. It's another excuse to not be in the expensive overworld for a few minutes. Maybe we'll all come around to this stuff while we're watching, maybe we won't, but you know what they say, don't judge a book by its mass marketing and coverage by large media conglomerates. I've been asking a lot of people about this movie, and while everyone is conflicted on whether or not it'll be good, pretty much everyone has an opinion on it. Fun fact, the day after the teaser came out, I went to the library to write this script, and even the librarians were talking about the fucking Minecraft movie. Literally everyone's got an opinion on whether or not they think personally it'll be good or not. And that's exactly their plan. It's just like the Lego movie. It's so ambiguous that you kinda just have to go and see it to know what it's about. It's like that was their whole plan or something. I've already booked my tickets for the Thursday night preview, but you should probably wait until you know if it's good or not before you see it. For me, it's a business expense. For you, you might be wasting money on mid. If you want to know if it's mid or not, you should subscribe because I'll be posting my review of this movie on this channel when it comes out. It should be out at most a week after this movie releases, but I'm not the best with deadlines. And if you're interested more in the behind the scenes of how movies are made, I'd recommend you check out this book called The Big Picture by Ben Fritz. I know, you're all super shocked that I can read, but you should know that I can't and I just listened to the book. It really helped me understand how people in the movie business think. And I'll give you a hint, they aren't usually thinking about whether or not it's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't really read a lot of books, but this one was really engaging to me from start to finish. Go check it out, seriously. Wait a minute, what is today? The 2nd? I gotta go!